All right, so today we're going to be looking at how a CEO's entrepreneurial mindset can actually influence employee innovation,
Oh,
especially in larger companies.
yeah.
So we're talking about, can a CEO really inspire their employees to be more innovative just by having that entrepreneurial spirit themselves?
Right.
And what role does HR play in all this? We've got this fascinating research article here. It's
Mhm.
called CEO Entrepreneurial Orientation,
Mhm.
Human Resource Management Systems, and Employee Innovative Behavior, an attention-based view.
Okay.
And then let me tell you, it's got some pretty surprising findings in there.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I think, we often think about entrepreneurship as just an individual thing.
Yeah.
But this research really shows how a CEO's entrepreneurial mindset can kind of ripple throughout an entire organization.
Okay, so first things first, what exactly are we talking about when we say CEO entrepreneurial orientation?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it more than just, a CEO starting new businesses on the side?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a pattern of behavior and focus.
Hmm.
Um, think of a CEO who constantly pushes for innovation,
Hmm.
isn't afraid to take risks, calculated risks,
Hmm.
and is always looking for new opportunities. That proactive, forward-thinking approach.
Yeah.
That's really what CEO entrepreneurial orientation is all about.
So it's not just about having a great idea, it's about actively pursuing it and creating a culture that supports that kind of thinking.
Exactly, yeah.
Well,
And what's interesting is that the research actually shows that CEOs with a strong EO do tend to have more innovative employees.
okay.
But here's the catch. It's not a direct link.
Right.
It's not as if the CEO simply says, be more innovative, and everybody magically starts churning out these groundbreaking ideas.
Yeah, that would be too easy, right?
Right.
If the CEO gives this big motivational speech about innovation, is every single employee from accounting to customer service going to suddenly feel inspired and reinvent the wheel?
Right.
There's got to be more to it.
Yeah. There is, and this is where things get really interesting. Um, the research found that strong human resource management systems are key.
Okay.
They act as a bridge between the CEO's entrepreneurial vision and the day-to-day reality of employees.
So HR isn't just about paperwork and hiring then.
Right.
It's about creating an environment where innovation can actually flourish.
Exactly. Precisely.
Mm.
Think of specific HR practices, like offering rewards for innovative ideas, providing training programs that encourage creative problem solving,
Hmm.
having clear career paths that show employees how innovation can lead to advancement.
Hmm.
These are the things that turn a CEO's vision into concrete action.
But wouldn't those kinds of things be important for any company, regardless of the CEO's personality?
Well, you'd think so, but the research found a really interesting nuance here. When top management truly believes in the power of HRM to drive innovation, the effect is even stronger.
Okay.
It's like they're all on the same page, sending this unified message that innovation is valued and rewarded.
So it's not just about having the right HR policies in place. It's about leadership really walking the walk and making innovation a core part of the company's DNA.
Yeah. Are you ready for another twist?
Hit me with it. I love a good plot twist.
All right. Well, the research also found that the impact of these HR practices isn't the same across all departments.
Oh, really? So which ones see the biggest impact?
Well, the study focused on what they call input-output functions.
Okay.
These are departments that directly interact with the outside world.
Yeah.
Think sales marketing, customer service, product development. They're the ones who are constantly exposed to new ideas,
Hmm.
customer feedback, and market trends.
That makes sense.
Right.
Those teams are on the front lines, so they're naturally more attuned to the need for innovation.
Exactly. And the research found that the combination of a CEO's entrepreneurial focus and strong HR support in those departments, it really supercharges innovation.
Yeah.
It's like they've got all the ingredients for success right there.
Yeah. Okay, so we're seeing that a CEO's entrepreneurial spirit can really set the stage, but it's the HR systems that actually give employees the tools and the support they need to actually be innovative.
All right.
And this is especially true, it sounds like, for departments that are directly interacting with customers and the outside world.
Yeah.
This is really fascinating stuff.
It is, and it raises some important questions about how companies can intentionally build that kind of innovative culture.
Mm-hmm.
What specific HR practices are most effective? How can leadership best communicate their vision for innovation?
Right.
What can individual employees do to contribute to a more innovative workplace?
Yeah.
These are all questions that we're going to be exploring as we continue our deep dive.
So we've established that HR plays a pretty crucial role here, but
Right.
what does that actually look like in practice? I'm,
hmm
I'm eager to dig into, some of those specific HR practices that you mentioned.
Right. Well, let's break them down. Uh, One of the most impactful practices is training and development. It might seem obvious, but we're not just talking about teaching people how to use the latest
Yeah.
software or follow a specific process.
It's more about giving employees the tools and the mindset to approach problems in a creative and innovative way.
Exactly. It's about fostering critical thinking, encouraging experimentation, and teaching people how to generate and evaluate new ideas.
Yeah.
It's about giving them the confidence to step outside of their comfort zones and try new things.
So it's like giving them a whole new toolkit for innovation,
Right.
not just sharpening the tools they already have.
Exactly.
Did the research itself get into any specific examples of effective training?
It did. The researchers highlighted companies that were doing some really interesting things.
Okay.
For example, some companies were using simulations and gamification to teach employees about design thinking and problem solving.
Cool.
Others were bringing in outside experts to run workshops on creativity and innovation.
That's cool. It sounds like these companies are really investing in creating a culture of learning and development.
Yeah.
And it's not just about formal training programs, right?
Right.
There's also a lot to be said for creating an environment where people feel comfortable sharing ideas and learning from each other.
Absolutely. And that brings us to another key HR practice, participation and empowerment.
Okay.
It's about giving employees a voice, allowing them to contribute their ideas, and making them feel like they're part of the innovation process.
Because let's be honest, if you're constantly told what to do and you're never asked for your input,
Right.
you're not going to be very motivated to come up with new ideas.
Exactly.
hmm
People need to feel like they have a stake in the outcome, that their ideas are valued, and that they have the freedom to experiment.
So what are some concrete ways that companies can foster this sense of participation and empowerment? Did the research offer any insights there?
Yeah, it did. Some companies are using things like suggestion boxes or online platforms where employees can submit their ideas.
Okay. Others are holding regular brainstorming sessions or creating cross-functional teams where people from different departments can work together on new projects.
That's great.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're really trying to break down silos and tap into the collective wisdom of their employees,
Yeah.
which I imagine can be incredibly powerful. Now, we've talked about training and empowerment,
Right.
but I'm also curious about the role of rewards.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all like to be recognized for our hard work, right?
Of course.
Does the research say anything about how rewards can be used to incentivize innovation?
It does. And it's not just about financial rewards. Of course, bonuses and raises can be motivating.
Yeah.
But it's also important to consider things like public recognition opportunities for professional development, and even just a simple thank you from a manager.
So it's about acknowledging people's contributions and making them feel valued,
Exactly.
which I imagine can go a long way in boosting morale and encouraging people to keep those innovative ideas coming. Absolutely. And then it ties back to what we were discussing earlier about creating a culture of innovation. It's not just about having the right systems in place. It's about creating an environment where people feel supported, encouraged, and rewarded for their creativity.
Okay.
Now, there's one more HR practice we should touch on. Career growth opportunities.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about the importance of employees feeling like they have a stake in the outcome?
Right.
Well, career growth is a big part of that.
That makes sense because if you see that innovation is a path to advancement within the company, you're going to be much more likely to embrace it. It's like you're being shown that this is what's valued here. This is how you succeed.
Precisely. And the research highlighted companies that were doing some really innovative things in this area. For example, some companies were creating specific career tracks for employees who demonstrated a strong aptitude for innovation. Others were offering mentorship programs where senior leaders could help guide and support the next generation of innovators.
I really like that mentorship idea. It shows that the company is really invested in developing its employees' talents and helping them reach their full potential.
Now, you've been doing a great job of bringing in the employee's perspective here. What stands out to you about their role in all of this?
Well, I think it's important to remember that everyone is different, you know?
Right.
Some people are naturally more inclined to be innovative, while others might need a little more encouragement or support. Not everyone thrives in the same environment.
That's such a crucial point, and it reinforces the need for a diverse set of HR tools and approaches.
Hmm.
What motivates one person might not motivate another.
Right.
What makes one person feel empowered might make another person feel stifled.
Exactly. Some people might thrive in a structured training program,
Hmm.
while others might be more energized by the opportunity to lead a brainstorming session or to have a mentor who can help them develop their ideas.
And that's why it's so important for companies to create a culture that embraces diversity of thought and provides multiple avenues for innovation. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
And, this actually connects back to the research finding about different departments.
Oh, right. The input-output functions versus the more internally focused departments. What
Yeah.
was it the researchers found about those?
Well, they found that the impact of these HR practices, even when combined with a CEO's strong entrepreneurial orientation,
Okay.
is less pronounced in departments that are more internally focused,
Hmm.
like accounting or operations.
Which, if you think about it, makes sense. Those teams are often focused on efficiency, standardization, and minimizing risk,
Right.
which isn't always conducive to a free-flowing, innovative mindset. That's not to say that those departments aren't important or that they can't be innovative,
Right?
but their role in innovation might look different.
Exactly. And it highlights the need for companies to tailor their approach to fostering innovation based on the specific context of each department.
So we're seeing that it's not just about having a CEO with a great vision.
Mm-hmm.
It's about having the right systems in place to support that vision
Mm-hmm.
and empower employees to translate it into action.
Yeah.
And it's about recognizing that different people in different departments might need different types of support to truly thrive.
Absolutely.
So it seems like the key takeaway here is that, fostering a culture of innovation,
Right.
it's a multifaceted effort.
Absolutely.
It's not just about grand pronouncements from the CEO.
Right.
It's about creating a system where everyone feels empowered to contribute.
It's about weaving innovation into the very fabric of the organization.
Yeah. Yeah.
From the way people are trained and rewarded
Hmm.
to the opportunities they have to grow and develop.
Now, this research was conducted in China,
Right.
which makes me wonder, do these findings apply to other cultures and contexts?
Yeah.
Could there be cultural nuances that influence how CEO entrepreneurial orientation and these HR practices play out?
That's a great question, and it's one that researchers are still exploring. It's certainly possible that cultural factors like communication styles, power dynamics, or attitudes toward risk-taking could influence how these concepts manifest in different parts of the world.
So while these findings provide a valuable framework,
Right.
it's important to consider the specific cultural context when trying to apply these principles.
Precisely. It's not a one-size-fits-all formula.
Right.
It's about understanding the underlying principles and then adapting them to fit the unique circumstances of each organization and its cultural environment.
It sounds like there's a lot more to learn about this complex interplay between leadership, organizational culture, and innovation.
There definitely is, and I think this research gives us a great starting point for asking the right questions and for thinking more critically about how to create workplaces that truly foster innovation.
Because at the end of the day, innovation is what drives progress, solves problems,
Right.
creates value. It's not just about coming up with the next cool gadget or trendy app. It's about finding new and better ways to do almost everything.
I couldn't agree more. It's about constantly challenging assumptions, pushing boundaries, and embracing the unknown. And while a CEO can certainly set the tone and inspire a vision, it takes a whole organization working together, each individual contributing in their own way to make that vision a reality.
So for all of you listening out there, whether you're a CEO, an HR leader, or an employee on the front lines, here's a final thought to ponder. What role can you play in fostering a culture of innovation within your own organization?
Yeah, what specific actions can you take, big or small, to contribute to this collective effort?
Because even seemingly small changes like speaking up with a new idea, suggesting a process improvement, or simply being more open to different perspectives can have a ripple effect.
Remember, everyone has the potential to be an innovator in their own way.
Yeah.
It's about finding those opportunities within your own sphere of influence and then having the courage to act on them.
That's such a powerful message to end on. It's a reminder that innovation isn't some mystical force reserved for a select few. It's something we can all cultivate and contribute to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So go out there, embrace that entrepreneurial spirit, and let's make the world a more innovative place, one idea at a time.
And on that inspiring note, we'll wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time for another fascinating exploration.